Hello and welcome to another week's analysis behind the news. This week we have dueling headlines regarding whether or not Congress will take up the Trans-Pacific Partnership this session. A headline from Roll Call claims McConnell comment on TPP ends Obama's chance to close deal, while Breitbart says President Obama plans lame duck session passage of TPP. So Roll Call reports that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told the Kentucky Farm Bureau Federation that the TPP would not be voted on until next session, so that the next administration could renegotiate troublesome areas in the trade pact between the United States and 11 Pacific nations. He goes on and says it can be massaged, changed, worked on during the next administration. Now, Roll Call states that McConnell had previously said the Senate wouldn't consider the agreement before the November election. It also says that McConnell made a passing reference at the meeting to an anti-trade mood in the United States. He says, it seems like the politics of trade have become rather toxic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, take a bow, because he's talking about your work and helping to stop the TPP. Now, that being said, our work is not yet done. The Breitbart article goes on and says President Barack Obama still intends to pass the Trans-Pacific Partnership in the lame duck session after the November election, the New York Times reports, despite opposition from both major party presidential nominees. Now, don't underestimate the ability of the Senate Majority Leader to cave. Besides, rhetoric from both sides of the political aisle may be aimed at getting us to put our guard down. This was precisely the case with NAFTA, which decimated the base of American manufacturing. Back then, we were told that support for NAFTA was dwindling and that it probably wasn't going to be passed. But yet, it was. Since Congress is out for another week, contact your senators and representatives today at their home offices and tell them to vote against any TPP measure. You can find pre-written alerts and contact information at jbs.org. Just click on Act Now. Now, when Congress does come back from recess next week, topping its agenda will be to keep funding its overly bloated self as well as the rest of the federal government. Instead of actually getting serious about its fiscal responsibility and passing a budget, Congress merely uses continuing resolutions to keep the funding flowing to all of its programs and agencies. The current spending bill only lasts through the end of September. An idea floating around is a continuing resolution that keeps the federal government financed until December, with another having to be voted on during a lame duck session in December. This is merely nothing but kicking the can down the road. And if Congress followed the Constitution, then nearly 80% of its spending could be done away with. So, all we have to do is pass a balanced budget amendment, right? Wrong. The proofs of the proposed amendments we have seen are so full of loopholes and flaws that we would be further from a balanced budget than we are now. We list 7 flaws at our blog at insidejbs.org. First one, expecting government officials to honor an amendment when they currently refuse to honor the existing Constitution is an absurdity. Second one, some BBAs, balanced budget amendments, allow 60% in Congress to override the requirement for balancing the budget. Getting 60% for other outrageous measures is a regular occurrence. Number 3, various BBAs make no mention of the growing problem resulting from declaring such huge expenditures off the budget. And this includes Social Security, Medicare, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac. And there's a bunch of other things as well. Number 4, some BBAs call for increasing taxes as a way to balance the budget, even steering taxing authority to the executive branch. Can we say danger there? Proponents of some BBAs, number 5, want a stipulation that the budget need not be balanced if there's a war or a real or cleverly contrived national emergency. Well, it seems like we've been in one of those for quite some time. Number 6, various proponents say that a BBA won't have to take effect for 5 years or more. thereby sanctioning the addition of more trillions to the nation's already enormous indebtedness. And number 7, balancing the budget ignores already accumulated indebtedness requiring billions annually for interest payments. And of course, we can also add in another factor such as the influence of the Federal Reserve. And there are likely to be other flaws, but what is lost in all of this discussion is that an amendment should be considered only if the Constitution is found deficient or in error. But in the case of fiscal responsibility, the U.S. Constitution isn't at fault. The fault lies with government officials who ignore the Constitution's existing limitations. And finally, we leave you with an article from Forbes with the headline, "As more parents refuse vaccines, more doctors dismiss them, with AAP's blessing." It's in a dangerous trend of using fear and coercion. Doctors are dismissing families who do not go along with the doctor's vaccine regimen. The article calls it vaccine hesitancy, when parents put off getting their child vaccinated until later or skip it altogether. They report, nearly 1 in 8 pediatricians reported in 2013 that they always dismiss patients who continue to refuse vaccines, twice as many as in 2006, according to a new study comparing 2006 and 2013 survey results. Now that's interesting, given the doctor's oath to do no harm. And who or what is behind this certainly needs to be looked into. Is the pharmaceutical industry involved? Is Obamacare involved in any way? The decision to vaccinate or not should be based on a direct relationship between doctor and patient, or parent in the case of children. No one should stand in between them, especially the federal government. For more on this, take a look at our weekly e-newsletter this week. If you don't get it, sign up for it for free at jbs.org. And if you like this video, share it and subscribe to our channel as well as our social media pages. And until next week, we'll see you then.